Staying with that story, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has urged citizens to avoid the planned protest, stating that the proposed nationwide protest was ill-advised. Egbetokun's statement was made in response to social media campaigns rallying for a nationwide protest scheduled for August 1 due to the economic hardship in the country. Speaking during a meeting with commissioners of police in Abuja, he noted that the country has experienced violent protests with severe consequences. The IG added that the last EndSARS protest worsened crime rates and insecurity in several parts of the country. While he acknowledged the right to peaceful protest as enshrined in the Constitution, the IGP said the force must ensure that these protests do not snowball into violence or disorder. Let's take a look at this development with the help of a public affairs analyst, Jide Ojo. Jide, thank you for joining us. I mean, in your view, how effective are appeals like these made by the president in persuading protesters to shelve their plans? Wouldn't it be a little more proactive to respond to the need for the protest in the first instance?
Thank you, Felicity. I think the Tinubu administration is jittery, and jittery because of the recent happening in Kenya, how the Kenyan youth have been able to successfully protest to the extent that the president had to dissolve his cabinet and embarked on a wide range of reforms, including suspension of a planned tax increase in Kenya. And you see, we are in the era of social media, and the world has become a global village. So I think Nigerian youth are taking a cue from what happened in Kenya, and they feel that, given the rising cost of living, the hardship that many Nigerians are facing, issues around poverty, unemployment, lack of infrastructure, insecurity, and the rest, that it's time not to keep quiet. As Professor Wole Soyinka said, if the man dies in name, who keeps silent in the face of tyranny? And that's why I said the Tinubu administration is jittery, and you could see the Inspector General of Police issuing a threat that, yes, it's within the rights of citizens to protest, but they should not go on the street. You have also seen the spontaneous reaction of the presidency. Never in the history of this country, to the best of my knowledge, have we had a kind of expeditious passage of a law under 48 hours, as we had with this budget, supplementary budget of 6.2 trillion that was passed today. This was a bill, that was read. It went through the first reading on Thursday last week, and yesterday they invited the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, who gave a breakdown. And today, it went through the second, the third reading, and the passage in both chambers, which means that they want to pull the feet pull the rug from the feet.
Jide, that is another important issue I would actually want to explore, but that is not the focus of this conversation at the moment. I wanted to get from you, instead of asking or suggesting that the people shelve the proposed protest, I'm thinking, isn't it a bit more proactive, do you think, for the presidency to respond to the concerns being raised and the need for the protests?
And that's what I'm asking you. The fact that the expeditious passage of the national minimum wage bill, the resolution of that, remember that the NLC-TUC has said if there is no passage of that bill, or that their demands are not made, they were going to go on a nationwide strike. So government has been able to resolve that. You also saw the rollout of palliatives Recently, the federal government rolled out $1 trillion worth of economic relief packages about a couple of weeks back. It's all part of the plan to meet the needs of this young youth. Don't forget, when you talk about rising cost of living, you talk about unemployment, you talk about poverty, it's not something you solve in one day, but you have to take initiatives, and that's why I'm recounting some of the initiatives the administration have been able to take in the last few weeks, including even the president going to chair the National Economic Council and asking state governors to give him a blueprint or roadmap of how they want to improve food production.
Jide, there is no question. I kind of get your point. There is no question that the government is making an effort, right? But the people are saying these are inadequate. And because the people, I mean, most people are aware of some of the things that they've done. What I'm saying is, the protest is proposed for, in less than a week, people want to go out to the street. Is it maybe, or is there maybe an action that the government can take now, a statement, and a different approach that will encourage the people to step back from going to the streets to protest? He is working, I mean, to some degree, but the people are saying this is not enough. We want more.
So, Felicity, I don't want to throw the question back at you. Governance is a process. There is a huge bureaucracy behind government. It's not a magic wand that you just wave and everything will fall in place. I've only told you, to the best of my knowledge, some of the activities and actions of government which is aimed at alleviating poverty, improve employment opportunities, and making life better for average Nigerians. Yes, they are inadequate, and we still have serious issues of insecurity. But then, I mean, even if you are going to recruit more boots on ground, you are going to buy arsenal or armament and all of that. You are not going to do that in a day. So what the president has come out to say is that give me some more time to look into your demands. I'm working around the clock to alleviate, to ameliorate some of those.
All right, quickly, Jide, just one more before we go. And I'm told we don't have time, so if you could do that in 30 seconds. How should the government balance the right to peaceful protest with concerns about potential violence as expressed by the Inspector General of Police? In 30 seconds, sir, I'm sorry.
So that's the way forward now. If the youth insist on protesting, it now leaves the security agencies, particularly the Nigerian police, to safeguard the peaceful protest and make sure that they are not hijacked, as was the case in 2020 when we had the EndSARS protest. Of course, every discerning mind knew that the protest of EndSARS of 2020 was state-sponsored attack on the Nigerian youth. And that's what we don't want to see with this. Let the youth protest, but let the police marshal plans to protect the youths, safeguard them, make sure that the ministers and the hoodlums do not have access to go and violate their rights to protest. That's the best that can be done under the circumstance, while at the same time rolling out economic relief packages and making sure that some of those grievances are looked into. The August one is still some few days to come. There are still a lot that could be done, including the nationwide broadcast by the president to appeal to the emotions of the Nigerian youth, to give him a little more time rather than speaking through some of his aides and ministers.
Jide, thank you.
It's my pleasure.